Good evening, Muskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing alright, because it's time for the 48-hour analysis. Yes, just 2 days ago, all of these skins rotated in for the April Force Wipe Rust Store, and basically, in this video, we're going to look at their progress based on their sales and try and figure out, are these skins still looking to be perfectly fine investments, or are there any potential problems that I need to bring up to you? Right, let's get started. First of all, what are we looking at? This is my Twitter. With every Rust store that happens, 24 hours later, I'll go to scmm.app, take a screenshot of the sales, and I'll post it here. Now, why do we do that? Well, we can make comparisons to previous weeks and try and see if there's any details we can notice. So, for example, Shadowborn Sheet Metal Door, which you can see right here, has 10,700 subscribers, the absolute bare minimum sales. Well, if we go back to the previous week, we can see with the garage door, it had 11,500. So a fair bit more compared to the sheet metal door. And we know this ended up with about 26,000 sales in total. So maybe this, falls just a bit short by the time we reach this this next Thursday when the next Rust door rotation happens. We shall see. But yeah, you can kind of see like the details there. And another interesting point is Mr. Craboo Boonie Hat. Again, I thought that was just silly, and I questioned whether it would actually, end up doing well. Well, it's done 10,000 sales after the first 24 hours, so fair play to that. People clearly like him. And then across the board, all the skins here, they've done quite all right. I think Chameleon Tier 3's been a bit tame, and I've got a nice little comparison to showcase for that, but I'll leave that for a little bit later. For now, let's hop over and take a look at the likes of the 48 hours. Now, I should just quickly point this out. It's a few hours after 48. I went and saw my family today and had a lovely meal for my birthday. Well, my birthday was like 2 days ago, but they only came down. It's the weekend, you get the idea. So anyway, it's a little bit later. So shall we jump in, look at all of these skins individually, and start discussing all the potential nice things and potential negative things. Let's get started. Let's talk about the Shadowborn Sheet Metal Door. So I was a little bit conflicted. All right, I was a little bit conflicted. I'm not super invested in the likes of Sheet Metal Doors, but I can respect an in-demand deplorable collection. And I can sit here and say people do like Shadowborn. Last week, I had a little thought. I estimated that the garage door was going to end up with maybe around 22 to 23,000 sales. But by the end of the week, it ramped up. And, well, the Shadowborn garage door got an extra like 4,000 more sales or so. Like it almost reached 26,000 sales to the point I'm trying to get across. This right here, we were very surprised to see that was just instantly accepted with the very next Rust door. So again, if I just quickly go back to the past, as you can see, here you are. That's doing nice and comfortably. Well, if we potentially see another Shadowborn deplorable skin appear over the course of this weekend, or of course, up until Monday, maybe, just maybe, there'll be even more support for the likes of this skin, and if that potential new skin were to be accepted, well, do you reckon that might spike in demand, spike in price? Exactly like the garage door did. So, as you can see right now, this is currently selling for $6. Now, initially, when the sheet metal door appeared, it did go all the way up to $9, but of course, as more people are able to list theirs on the Steam market, gradually the price did go back down again. But it's still much better than where it was last week. We could agree with that. We could agree to that. So, yeah, cool. Very nice to see. And, well, what's going on in regards to potential new skins? Having spoken to the skin creator, they are enthusiastic to put out even more skins. And, of course, we're going to get different artworks for every single deplorable. What's next? Who knows? Might be a large box, I'm just saying. But, yeah, they might be taking a break from the collection for a bit, just a bit, because, they don't want to just keep constantly putting out loads and loads and loads, and then they end up competing with each other for a spot. Because we have to remind you, we actually skipped a skin. So if I'm going to use Micro's website real quickly, just refresh just to see if there's any new skins. Looks like we're up to date. Cool. If I show you Shadowborn, yeah, we did actually skip the sheet metal double door. Yeah, that happened. Now, one theory is that because the sheet metal door showcases the minigun on the artwork, maybe that was picked for the April Fool's swipe, which introduced the minigun to the game. We'll see. Maybe this gets picked for the next Rust door. Who knows? But we'll find out. So, on the horizon, will we see another one potentially over the course of these next couple of days? I look forward to finding out. And, well, that would definitely be a nice boost for this. But I am under the assumption they might be taking maybe a week or two's break from the likes of this collection. I do expect more skins. I hope for more collection continuations. Now, Vase, being one of the skin creators, he's been around for quite a while, putting out very interesting skins, and I've made a huge fuss about this, haven't I? I reminded everybody of last year, where Vase was producing a very awesome porcelain deplorable collection, many interesting skins, tons of votes, lots of support, but only 2 skins are accepted. We're in the same position at this very moment as well. What do you reckon? So, stay hopeful, keep your fingers crossed, keep an eye on the workshop, and we'll see what happens next. But I do believe we will be seeing more. It's just a matter of will Face Punch accept them. And as I showcased to you, as we got to the end of the week, or rather the Rust rotation week, I guess you could say, as we got close to Thursday, this just ramped up with its sales, and it reached up to 26,000 bare minimum, or just under. I can confirm that SEMM cannot see every single account, every single Rust account. I'm pretty sure there's 30,000 plus, maybe pushing up to 40. It wouldn't surprise me. So back over to here. From what we can see, if this matches up or sells a fair bit less compared to the garage door, it'll be fine for it. If it sells an absurd amount, it would be a problem, but based on the current momentum, this does not look like it's going to reach 26,000 sales. I reckon this is going to probably actually reach 22 to 23,000 sales this time, or maybe I'm wrong. Again, maybe on the likes of Wednesday and Thursday, a ramp up in sales and suddenly it goes up to 26,000 again. Who knows? But as of now, at $3, And then I should also point out, with the amount of Sheepman Adores that we've had, it's not too surprising that maybe not that many people are super eager to buy a Sheepman Adore skin, but it does look cool. And maybe a lot of people look at that and think it's probably the best skin out of all the skins we've received so far in 2024. I mean, at the very least, compared to the Clone Adore, that's a bit of a competition there. And who could say no to Love Arrow? Oh, that's actually rising back up in price. Well, most skins are rising back up in price as we get out of the likes of Easter time. So, all right, anyway, main point I'm trying to get across is don't be surprised if we see even more Sheepman Adore skins from here and now, and will anything potentially compare to the likes of that? I mean, everyone has different taste and whatnot, but the quality with what's provided there, both Cubist and Vase did put out a very nice skin. So if we potentially see more and have a very nice collection, all the better for that Sheepman Adore. When you see a new deplorable skin being accepted, it is expected that pre-existing deplorable skins will spike in demand, spike in price. I say it so many times, but we did see it happen when that Sheepman Adore appeared. Loads of people jumped in, bought out all the stock from the likes of the garage door. So stay optimistic. Keep praying and we'll see what happens next. It's not a very great answer, I know, but you know what I mean. Like, we don't know what to expect. Face Punch can be very strange with their picks. Shall we jump in and move on to the next skin? Mr. Craboo Boonie. Right. So I brought up this point. A lot of the Boonie hats that we've seen over the past few years, they've all been part of collections. Cursed, Frog Cosplay, Pirate, Sweet Treat, Pizza, we got Fisherman, and then we ended up getting to the point where we're at all the older Boonie hats, and older Boonie hats sold significantly less, they're rarer, and, well, typically that means they're much more valuable. So, and of course I should point out there were Twitch drops, but I don't think that matters too much. Anyway, we got Craboo Boonie to be precise. Now, there's one nice potential thing that I could see potentially happening. We might see Craboo primitive skins. Maybe we get the likes of, as I mentioned, a poncho or some burlap clothing or some hide clothing. I don't know. But if this remains being isolated and all by itself, will that still hold? I didn't mean to click that. I meant to go to the workshop page. Will that still hold? It's goofy. It's silly. But I do question if people are going to want to, keep it, keep buying it and whatnot. So far, as you can see, it's done 13,600 bare minimum sales, the subscriber count. So we know at least sorry about that, I just hit the mic. We know that at least 13,648 people have bought this, individual people. We don't know how many they've bought. That's already kind of pushing it to quite a high amount. And if I were to just quickly show you all the Boonie hats based on subscriber count, because, bare minimum sales is what we're basically following from. Oh, it's already in the top 6. So, give it a few more days at the current pace it's moving at. I kind of feel like this is going to comfortably do over 20,000 sales, which would make it the third highest selling Boonie hat skin. But these two, part of nice and well-established collections. I mean, Fisherman hat kind of just only came out with the burlap, but it's green with a green primitive set, so... and Pirate Collection has tons of primitive skins. You are just by yourself. You are silly, but is that enough? And I'm questioning it. I don't think so. Plus, I should also point out, this is selling for $1.49, where quite a lot of the other previous Boonie hats sold for 99 cents. Yeah, that's something I didn't bring up. Every other Boonie hat over the past... well, I mean, almost forever. I think... oh, wow, yeah, no. Every single Boonie hat from the past, except you, and you, sold for 99 cents, it seems. But this sold for $1.49. Not you, that one. Sorry, that one. So, I mean, there's a higher chance that that's going to go below its Rustall price, which in theory kind of sounds bad, but, I mean, if you just put down a buy order that was less than $1, I mean, probably still would work out all right. Yeah. I think we're going to end up doing having a situation where we only end up doing a buy order. I don't want to sound mean, but yeah, it's probably the safest thing to do. And I should point out, yep, that's abnormal. So, of course, we can wait until Wednesday. We can look at the total sales by then, and we can discuss how much we want to offer for it. And, you know, we'll get a proper idea of where it's going to likely end up at with the total sales. But I do think it's going to do over 20,000. Maybe just short, maybe just over. Who knows, but it's going to be close to it. So, yeah, what do you reckon? Do you reckon we will see some more? Well, I mean, the only way you can find out is keep an eye on the workshop, so keep an eye on the workshop. But VHS Tonight has literally just got this as their first ever skin. Like, first ever skin to be accepted, I should clarify. I'd show you that if I could, but it's not loading up. Damn it, SCMM, why are you being this way? So, yeah, you just got to wait. Actually, did anybody comment and ask, hey, you're going to make some more? Right, so it doesn't look like that happened. We'll just have to wait and see, guys. But I do lean more to the likelihood that I'm just going to stick with doing a buy order. It is what it is. So, let's move on. Blocky Cargo Box. This is not selling that much. It's not going super crazy, which is fine. But compared to the likes of all the previous large box skins that we've had in the past, Orcocloma's doing a little bit better. Okay, that's all right. And that ended up with 11,200 bare minimum sales. Easter, I'm not going to really count because it's a holiday-themed skin, and by default, when they're out of season, they go down in price. We can discuss that as much as you want, but you get the idea. Pirate Large Box. That is part of a big collection, and it has a few deplorable skins. That did just under 17,000 sales, and you're not doing very well. Down 51%. Awkward. But you aren't super flashy. Whereas this is, well, reasonably. It's a cool idea. Look at it. You got the Lego theme style design. We're expecting a potential full collection where every single deplorable is going to reference a different monument, which will be cool. So I have heard rumours that we might be getting a Sheepman door. That's envisioning the lighthouse, which would be also nice. But with the likes of this being accepted, did we notice the previous Blocky skin rising up in price? Yes, it did. I forgot to tell Bipolar Penguin it's part of a collection. I had to keep him informed. I had to do it just after this video. But yes, the price. Yeah, so the quantity got bought out. So if I can recall, we had like 50, 60 quantity of this garage door on the day that the large box was accepted. Well, it's gone down, been bought out. And, of course, the price has improved, and the borders have improved. So, yeah, it does look like, with a brand new deplorable skin, lo and behold, wow, it looks like we just had a spike in price. Now, could this slowly start rising up in price towards the likes of the summertime? Well, if we keep seeing more deplorable skins being accepted, yeah, I think it will be slowly going up in price, which would be very, very nice. It rhymes. So, yeah. Things are looking positive for this, but we got to keep an eye out on the workshop. I know, I'm sorry, but it's the same thing every single week. You got to wait and see if there's going to be potentially another skin, maybe getting accepted at some point in the near future. So if we do see another submission, then we can start really anticipating what's going to happen next. So far, we've got 2 skins. We've got the Gadge door, we've got the large box. Potentially we might have a Sheepman door, as I said. Maybe we'll see something else, who knows. But I am optimistic for it. Now, in terms of total sales, well, we're up to just under 11,000 so far. I am under the assumption that we might just fall short, just a little bit less than 20,000. Maybe about 18,000, I reckon. Yeah, 18,000 sounds about right. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe a little bit less. We'll see. But again, like if we do see another deplorable skin appearing on the workshop, maybe more people will buy some. That wouldn't be too surprising, would it? In fact, that's probably what led to the likes of the Shadowborn garage door last week getting a lot more sales towards the end of the week, because people saw that and more deplorables were being produced, aka the Sheepman door. So, yeah, it actually probably explains that. All right, so I'm optimistic. It is abnormal, so we can wait until Wednesday, and then, of course, do our buy orders and look at the support afterwards and make a decision. But we would also know by then if a new deplorable skin was produced, and, of course, we'll reference it when we do abnormal buy orders. So I'm optimistic for it. We'll see what happens next. Let's move on. All right, Chameleon Tier 3. So if I were to just quickly show the Chameleon collection, get a good look at that. I believe one thing I brought up was we're pretty much perfectly aligned with the likes of the Redemption collection now, aren't we? So get a good look at this, and then let's go over to Redemption, because pretty much all of last year, right, when we had only weapon collections of Redemption and Chameleon, I was always going back and forth, comparing them. Well, good few months back, we did get Redemption Tier 3. Unfortunately, that was all we got. But the point I'm trying to get across is, we could probably see if the likes of this is going to match up to this. So this did 13,800 bare minimum sales. This one did 30,600. So we can round it up and say about 13,700 sales. Bare minimum. So subscriber count. Yes, in theory, there's about 16,000 of these in circulation. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to the likes of the tweets I mentioned at the very beginning of this video. And I'm just going to quickly go do this. Haha, there you go, look. So after the first 24 hours of sales, these only did just over 6,000 subscribers, which is fine. But when we make a comparison to the Redemption was just under 7,000. Redemption does appear to have a little bit more support. Redemption does appear to be a little bit more popular. So as we hop back over to here, at the current rate of sales that we're seeing here, 9,600, compared to the likes of the Redemption, where it ended up at, which was 13,700-ish. I reckon we're going to beat that. I reckon we are. But the next question is will we actually see the other skins being accepted? So, as I mentioned, this is produced by Mr. Milho Frito. He has been very successful in getting skins accepted over the years. He's been doing it for 9 years in total. He has 175 skins. Now, quite a lot of them are also charity skins, but, you know, he worked on them and cool. So, will there be a tier 3, will there be a tier 2 and a hoodie and pants submission? Oh, yeah, for sure. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Maybe it happens immediately this weekend. Maybe he takes his time, waits a week or two, then puts it out. That'll probably be the smarter approach. But regardless, if we do see those tier 2 and hoodie and pants skins being accepted, of course that's going to spike in demand, spike in price. How long for, I don't know, but that always happens. Especially the core pieces. Clothing and armor tends to be the best thing to invest into. And with the position that it's in, it's the first core piece of this collection. There's 2 instances where it could spike in demand, spike in price very nicely. That being when hoodie and pants or tier 2 appear, and then the next one afterwards. So you might want to wait a little bit longer. Fair, that's totally fine. Both of these skins are abnormal, right? Now, if we don't see Chameleon, hoodie and pants, and tier 2 being accepted for quite some time, or more specifically, not even submitted to the workshop, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if that does dip below its rust or price. Wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. But at some point, it will happen. It will happen. All right? So maybe you might want to just stick with doing a strong buy order. Fair enough. That's fine. And I will point this out to you one more time. Redemption. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Or rather, I missed the E. I just want to quickly... Come on. Sorry. I just want to point out one more time. Redemption never got its other core pieces. The tier 3 armor here, it was down by like 20% each. And now SCMM's playing games with me up there. Okay, cool. So yeah, down 12%, down 17%. Let's go look at both of these on the Steam market. And yes, you can sit there and say, but this is red and shiny. I know, I get it. But the Chameleon being purple and green shiny is pretty much almost the same thing. I don't think people will be buying it for camouflage. Let me put it that way. So over to here, yep, 125, 133. On average, most rust skins have about 100 quantity. So this is very close to that. And yeah, a good few sales. It'll probably bounce back up and, you know, sell for its rust or price again. Yeah, that very likely might happen in the summer. It might very likely happen if we see the skin creator produce some more skins for it again in the future. Maybe that might happen soon. We'll see. So, as of now, with what's going on there, it's not down super bad, but it is down. So, as I said, if we don't see anything for a while, yes, people might get a bit restless. They might end up unloading their stock on the Steam market. But when we do see it appear, that's when we're going to start having some fun. And I do think we will see that eventually getting accepted. If he got all the Tempered collection accepted, I feel confident in the likes of the Chameleon collection. So, it's just a matter of waiting. And I'm sure you love waiting. Yay! So, yeah, optimistic for it. It's abnormal. Wait till Wednesday, see what the sales look like, and then we consider what we're going to offer for the abnormal borders. I'm optimistic. We'll see what happens next. Snakebite Sleeping Bag. So I was conflicted. Initially, very straightforward. I said, a green sleeping bag, but it glows in the dark. Well, that's just silly, because, of course, if you have a green sleeping bag that didn't glow in the dark, probably a very good bag to put out to hide in the grass, or some bushes and whatnot. Plenty of you, I'm sure, like to put bags out hidden away in some dark corners of the forest and whatnot. So, unfortunately, with a glow-in-the-dark bag, that's going to be a whole lot more noticeable. And some people probably wouldn't like that. This is too close to my base. I'm going to get my bone knife and go, poke holes in it and destroy it. But the glow-in-the-dark in it doesn't appear to be strong enough or noticeable enough where you're going to want to have it inside your base as well. So, again, I was being very judgmental. I'm very sorry, Mr. Snake. But overall, I did compare this to the likes of another glow-in-the-dark green sleeping bag that came out a year or so ago, that being the Firefly sleeping bag, and Firefly's actually wasn't doing too bad. It did 20,000 sales in total, which is more than I expected this Snakebite bag, and it's only down by 2% at the moment. A smart buy order can lead to success, or rather, maybe, just maybe, the Snakebite bag might potentially do a little bit better based on the fact that it's likely to do less sales than this. So 30 quantity on the Steam market, which is very low, as I said just a little bit earlier. On average, every single Rust skin on Steam market has about 100 quantity. Well, it looks like it's only 2 off from its Rust store price. 2 more sales, suddenly it's in the positive. And if we look at its sales history, as you can see, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Fairly tame, looks okay. So, just to remind you, 20,000 bare minimum sales. But after 2 days with likes of this Snakebite sleeping bag, we're at 9,000. I look at that and I think we're going to probably see it reach about 15,000, 16,000 sales, which would be less than the Firefly sleeping bag. But Fireflies is a collection. So, let me just point this out to you. There's the sheet metal door, there's the double door, what else was there? And the furnace, yeah, there you go. Now, it's not exactly a big collection, but it still has other skins that you can pair it up with and whatnot, if you so wish. So, looking at the state of this, I think it's actually going to look pretty okay. I think it's actually going to have a pretty good, okay time. Also, cool looking skin. If you like snakes, well, here you go. Perfect. So, looking at the state of this Snakebite, where are we? Yeah, looking at the state of this Snakebite bag, I mean, during the day, it's still going to be perfectly fine to hide in some bushes and whatnot. Hey, maybe I'm just being a little bit too judgmental, alright? So, if you appreciate it, if you like it, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creator, keep them motivated, keep wanting to put out very nice creative skins in the future, but maybe, just maybe, we end up seeing the likes of a Snakebite collection. Now, if I go to the comments, did anybody ask about that? I can't read any of that, so we'll see what happens next, sorry. Some door skins, large box, small box, a little hissy snake. Come on, give me a baby snake, son art, baby snake from the small box. Yeah, we'll see. It's up to them. But I'll keep an eye out. As I said, keep an eye on the workshop, see what appears, and then act upon it. So that right there, by default, I think it'll probably actually do a decent job staying around the price it sold for, in the Rust store. But when times are bad, don't be surprised if it goes down. But when times are good, don't be surprised if it goes up a fair bit. And with many skins right now improving after going through the likes of the Easter dip, doesn't surprise me that Fireflies is now ever so slightly matching up to its Rust store price and very likely will end up in a positive soon. It seems to be a fairly okay skin, and this being very similar to its design, just darker green instead of light green, I think it'll be okay. So, we'll wait till Wednesday, abnormal buy order, you get the idea, let's move on. Prototype 7164 SAR. I have nothing against the SAR, but I'm not super confident. And when we saw this, I believe when I looked at this with my investing predictions video, I looked at the AK and saw it as in the positive. Yeah, that lasted, didn't it? Look at that. Right, anyway, out of all the SAR skins that we've seen over about a year or so ago, how many of them are doing alright at the moment? Jungle SAR is still doing slightly okay, that's fine, but it only literally just became marketable, so I just don't want to really accept that as one to look at. Thundergold's doing alright, part of a well-established collection. Hopefully we'll get hoodie and pants at some point, but constantly we're seeing a lot of weapons very recently, so it looks like we'll keep seeing more of that. So that seems to be relatively stable. Blackstone SAR's actually improved a fair bit. That's actually taken me by surprise. But as I scroll down over to here, all of the SARs that came out last year, except Arctic Skull, all in the negative. So by default, the vast majority of SARs, I will assume, won't do very well. It's unfortunate to say, but yeah. Now, it doesn't help that we'll be getting some very useful, cool-looking Twitch drops. So as I actually look at this design, I think it looks cool. I like the design. I think it's a very cool sci-fi style aesthetic. But I don't think everybody's going to be appreciating something like this. So, useful aim sight? Well, for most environments. Maybe not the desert area. But, yeah. So, with the current sales that it's currently at... That's good grammar, I guess. Anyway, I think this is going to only do about 12,000 sales. Not a ridiculous amount. But, still, again, compare that to all the other SAR skins that came out somewhat recently. It still feels like quite a lot. So if I go by highest subscription, it is about just under halfway. But I reckon if we end up with about 12,000 sales, it's going to end up in the upper half around here. Yeah, it's going to end up in the upper half. So, yeah, I'm not super optimistic for it. And at $2.49, $12, $2.49, I don't think it's going to do a good job of retaining its value. I do expect we'll probably be seeing some more prototype 7164 skins being produced. I'm not sure if they're going to be accepted, but I just don't think that's going to really matter that much. I don't think it's going to hold. So I think we're just going to wait until Wednesday and consider what we're going to do, because this is also abnormal, but I wouldn't be surprised if I just stick with a lower price buy order. It is what it is. Shall we move on? Thundergold double barrel shotgun. So, talk about Thundergold. Here we are. And Thundergold is doing pretty okay. As you can look over to here, what do we see? Quite a lot of it's in the positive. The weapons. So, I brought this up. When you look at all the SAR skins, the vast majority of them in the negative, but that Thundergold SAR, it's in the positive. When we look at all the AKs, which we can do right now because we've got an AK over here, the vast majority of them that came out over the past 2 years, well, look and see how many of them are in the positive. Well, Black Diamond's still doing a pretty good job. Only recently came out, so I don't really want to accept it. It looks like Serpent AR's starting to get a bit of a pump. Someone did a big buyout. Something fishy's going on there. I'll treat that as an anomaly. So, honestly, we only have Thundergold here. And scroll, and Kiss AR. We had a lot of AKs given to us last year, both in terms of in the Rust Store and Twitch drops, and pretty much every single one of them's in a negative, except Kiss AR and Thundergold. So, Thundergold seems to be working out quite nicely with all the weapon skins that it's been producing, but there's another interesting detail that we had to bring up. These did not really sell that much. Thundergold AK-47 did just over 13,000 sales, and the Thundergold SAR did about 10,000 sales. Now, that's bare minimum, alright? This right here, based on its current momentum, well, if we were to quickly go over to here, right, so first 24 hours of sales, that did 5,152 subscribers. Now, I did a bit of a comparison. I don't have the links here, but I did compare to the likes of the SAR and the AK. The Thundergold SAR, after the first 24 hours of sales, had 4,600 subscribers. And the AK had a little bit more. I think it had like 5,500. I don't fully know, but you get the idea. This seems to be about smack dab in the middle. So if this were to have the current momentum for what it had based on 24 hours of sales, it's going to end up at some point between these two in terms of total sales, or rather subscribers, bare minimum sales. So I'm thinking that actually might work out quite all right. That's not a ridiculous amount of sales. However, the low sales that we see here was more based on, like, compared to all the other SARs and compared to all the other AKs. Let's actually go look at all the double barrel shotguns that have come out somewhat recently, because I will showcase to you that they're not looking super great. Much like SARs and AK-47s, they're not holding up very well. But I also want to take a look and see, well, based on the subscriber count, how's this currently standing? And it's about in the middle at the moment. But if it ended up with about, let's say, 12,000 bare minimum sales, it's going to be right there, upper half. Which, compared to many other double barrel shotguns, there are a lot more of them that will have more quantity overall, or more quantity in circulation potentially. So I'm thinking it's going to probably end up exactly like the SAR and the AK, up around 23%. Yeah, that seems okay. Nothing wrong with that. And I will sit here and say, both of these skins, they've had like a good few stragglers every now and then that was below their Rust Store price, so they have appeared to be in the negative in the past. But it's done a very, very, very good job of retaining their Rust Store price value. So, now we're not seeing the links, are we? Oh, thanks, Steam. Now it listens. But yeah, look at this. It's done a very good job just being stable. And if anything, it's actually starting to trend upwards. That's nice to see. What about the SAR? You have done a very good job, being stable. And guess what? From here to here, it's starting to trend upwards. Things are improving. We are going to see more Thundergold weapon skins being produced. And at the current rate, it looks like Facepunch does approve of it. They like it. And if we do see more acceptances, all the better. I'm not complaining. Now, I would much prefer to see the likes of the hoodie and pants. When are we going to get them? Come on, Facepunch, please. Anyway. Who knows? But there was the likes of the custom SMG that was never accepted. Now, I will bring this up. Who knows? We don't know officially yet, but there very likely could be another Complete the Sets in May. Last year, we had Complete the Sets in May 2023. Well, first it was Most Wanted, and then Complete the Sets. But they're kind of like the same thing. Old skins that were submitted in the past but weren't accepted. Well, Most Wanted is all based around skins that are submitted that had a lot of votes, lots of support, but weren't accepted. I'm going to tell you now that those Thundergold skins that we saw there that weren't accepted, they had a lot of support. And then, of course, Complete the Sets are skins from notable collections that weren't accepted. I'll sit here and say, based on the amount of acceptances that we've had for Thundergold so far, I would consider it a notable collection. So, interesting potential chance of seeing some more Thundergold with new submissions, but also with the likes of Most Wanted and Complete the Sets if it were to happen in May. So, fingers crossed. But anyway, regardless, if we do just end up seeing some more weapons, I do think it's going to only help out the likes of this. It's keeping interest in the collection. People seem to be happy with it. We're steering towards the likes of the summer. The player counts recently, very good. Yep. And we're hoping to see something very similar to last year's summertime, where we had a very, very strong player count, both average and peaks. So more people playing equals, well, more demand for the skins. And if these sell very low, what's going to happen if loads more people want them when they return to play the game? Well, they're going to buy them out, and the price is going to increase, and we're going to make some sweet, delicious profit. So keep an eye on that double barrel shotgun. It does look nice. Let me show you. The ever so nice pearlescent white with the golden sheen. Oh, yes. Get a good look at it, gentlemen. I think it'll do perfectly fine. Will it do better compared to most other double barrel shotguns? I at least will sit here and say that. Well, the smart thing to do is, it's abnormal. Yep, we can wait until Wednesday. We can consider what we want to do based on the sales that have happened. Maybe we want to jump in and buy some after the buy orders. We shall see. But I'd rather do it that way. Play it smart. So that right there is in a very interesting position, and I am positive about it. So now we're going to move on to the final skin. Now, I didn't actually show this in my 24 hours of sales. This did 4,600 bare minimum sales. It had 4,600 subscribers after the first 24 hours. So I just want to point that out. So, if I could remind you, as I said, the Thundergold SAR had 4,600 bare minimum, or rather, subscribers after 24 hours of sales. That ends up with just under 10,000 subscriber count. That means this might end up in such a position. Now, it's very weird to me because if you actually look at this AK, it's got quite a fair bit of transparency. It's not super easy to notice, but you do have a little bit more that you can see here, and of course, useful red aim sight. So, people aren't biting, people aren't jumping onto it. I'm kind of surprised, but hey, it is what it is. Now, maybe it's because people aren't exactly super ecstatic for the likes of the Apocalypse Nomad set, but this is a nice down-to-earth, grounded style design. It's all in reference to the Nomad hazmat. It's going to be battle-scarred, worn, fairly damaged, but it's been used very well, It's been very effective. But that's the whole thing. That's the whole aesthetic. And I understand maybe not everybody is super invested into something like that. Fair enough. You do have to acknowledge that. If most people don't care for it, it's probably not wise to jump in and invest into. But maybe it's something that people just haven't really understood properly yet. And potentially with some more skins it being accepted, maybe then it starts to be appreciated and whatnot. But as I look over to here, we've of course had the MP5 before this. Has that improved? It did for a bit and went back down again in price. That's a bit awkward. I know. Weapon-only collections are not exactly the best, but there was an attempt for some hoodie and pants, but it wasn't accepted. So I don't know what might happen next with this, but with a useful transparent aim sight, or aim sight with more transparency compared to default, well, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see, but that's not abnormal. Out of all the skins this week, this is the only skin that's not abnormal. It's regular. It will only become marketable when the Rust rotates. So we'll look at it Wednesday, see how many sales have happened. We'll discuss if we want to actually jump in and buy some or not. But that's a little bit conflicting, isn't it? That's a little bit awkward. So yeah, sorry about that. It's not like a very definitive answer, but I'm sure you understand. Now, when I did my predictions video, I looked at it and said, well, I can see it working out very nicely in the future, but I can also see it working out very badly. It was very 50-50. I can't get a definitive answer. So, by all means, if you like it, go buy it. Show your support to the skin creator. Keep them motivated. Keep wanting to put out very nice creative designs in the future. I will sit here and say, Zskipper, Dark Schneider, I'm pretty sure they will be producing even more Apocalypse Nomad skins. It might just be weapons from here and now. Maybe they'll do some primitive skins. I personally think Apocalypse Nomad poncho would look pretty sweet. I think that would look pretty sweet. Maybe like with a burlap head wrap to emulate the, or try and emulate the design of what we see of the likes of the hazmat. That looked pretty cool. Giving you some ideas here, Mr. Z Skipper. Take note. But we'll see what happens next. So, cool idea, nice design, but it doesn't look like everybody's fully aware of the transparency. So, we'll see what happens next. So, overall, I'm not complaining about this roster. This is actually a perfectly fine April Fool's wipe. Now, of course, there's a fair few people that are upset that we didn't see certain collection continuations that would have greatly approved of. Legacy Kevlar or flashbacks and whatnot. As I mentioned, Thundergold Hoodie and Pants would be a great pick as well. But as I already mentioned when I talked about Thundergold, we might see complete the sets and Most Wanted reappearing again during May time. There is no official word that's been put out, but I get the feeling they'll probably do it again. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't like saying that, but you know what I mean. So, as we get close to May time, I reckon maybe towards the end of April, so April 2024 I'm talking about, we'll probably hear an announcement because the skin creators will be told, take 2 weeks off. Don't make anything. They'll still make stuff, don't worry. So, we'll see what happens. Now, I want to talk about certain things real quickly. I had a bit of a talk about this Easter Farm door. Now, when I did my Rust rotation, I was shocked to see that after just a few hours of that becoming marketable, it did 4 sales of $50. I can confirm to you, over the course of the past few days, or 2 days, that right there has had numerous sales of $25 to $40. Yes, I am not joking. And I've actually made a video dedicated to talking about that and other manipulations I've seen recently. Let me just put it this way. The people that are pumping this, they have invested thousands of dollars to keep the pump up. And we have proof. And that will be showcased to you in a video that will very likely appear one day after the release of this video. So, some weird things have been going on with this door. Is it actually worth $36? No, it's manipulation. It's a trick. It's all a facade. Don't fall for it. Do not buy it. Don't buy it. Once they stop, keeping the value up, it will just crash and burn. And I'm not joking. And I'm sorry to say that. This is the skin creator and whatnot, but no way is that worth that price. So this only did 3,000 sales. Not a lot. Very low by our common standards. But it just instantly got attacked afterwards, which is very rare to see. But it's the same person who's been recently buying out all the recently marketable skins. I'm talking about the likes of the Cyber Roadtime Vest, the Skullforce Poncho, and the Imperial Thompson. Those all happened about a month ago. But the guy behind this, waited another month and attacked this. And why are they doing it? We don't know. But in the video where we really focus this, we do discuss the possibilities of what might be going on. So, yeah, that's basically everything, really. Keep an eye on the likes of the skins on the Steam market because, prices are improving. I've mentioned that already. And, Serpent AR was a bit of a strange thing. So, randomly someone jumps in and buys out a ton of the stock. You can see that right there. Yep. Show liquidity. Yep. Nobody really cared for the skin, what was in the Rust door, based on the fact that we've already had 10 AKs. Well, actually, we've had 10 AK-47s being accepted in a row over the past few weeks. Several weeks. 10 weeks. 10 weeks. There you go. Say that. So basically, that was just another one of them. It came, it went, and, the buy orders, where were the buy orders? We didn't really have that many support in terms of buy orders. It's only gone up to 80 cents. But some people did jump in, buy out a significant chunk of the stock on the Steam market, and maybe, just maybe, that ends up becoming, or looks to be, a lot more valuable in the future, where the reality is it's just another pump. So, skins like that, if we could go back a couple weeks, or a few weeks, when was it? When were you? What AK? Was it the week before that? No, what week were you? Was it this one? And, it was, yeah. This did 12,000 sales. Now, that's not low. That's actually quite a bit. And yet, still, that got attacked. And if I click this and look over here on the third-party sites, there are some on third-party sites at cheap prices. So what on earth is going on? I don't know. Weird things like this are happening. But loads of skins recently have been pumped. But we do discuss that in the video, as I said. So keep an eye out for something like that. And keep an eye on the workshop. And if you don't really want to, set up a follow Dorfus list for yourself and whatnot, just look at Mr. Micro's website here. So as I click over to the workshop. I can see all the most recent newest submissions. I can get a quick look at all of them with the previews. Very nice, very cool, very nice, very cool. So yeah, consider looking at this over the course of the next 2 or so days, you know, Sunday, Monday, and you'll see more and more appear, and you can just quickly look at that, click the link, it'll send you straight to its workshop page, and yeah, if you really like it, you know, consider voting yes or no, and maybe even consider offering a nice comment if you so wish. So yeah, that is everything. Thank you very much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. Shall we actually quickly go and look at the previous skins in the previous weeks? So, of course, last week's skins, what do we see here? Those are doing alright at the moment. Cyber, what is the hoodie doing? Why is that at $3.42? Don't tell me this is a pump. Don't tell me this. It probably is. Let's find out. No big buy order there, but someone must have jumped in and bought out some significant stock. Yeah, looks like that. 25 bought on one day. Something fishy's going on there, so I have to keep an eye on the likes of you. And even that's doing all right. That's doing absurd, but we know why. We just discussed that very quickly. Give all this another week or so, then we'll look at it, and maybe it'll start going below its roster price. Or maybe it'll just be a momentary dip, and then it goes up very nicely as we steer towards the likes of the summertime. What about the previous week, where it was just the Easter skins? Literally, week 1 was just Easter skins, and yeah, it shows because they're not doing super great. Sweet Treat Burlap Pants at $1.80? What's this all about? Again, gotta keep an eye on these skins, especially the ones that have very low sales, because people are just jumping in and buying out significant stock, and something fishy will happen to them in the future. You just wait and see. So, March 14, how are we looking? These two are doing quite alright. Unfortunately, all of these, not so much. That's only down by 1%, so that's not too bad. And then we hop over to here, March 7, and this was the March 4 swipe. Legacy Kevlar's doing A-OK, no issues there, so we steer towards the likes of summertime. Wouldn't be surprised if they double in price again. Yep, the garage door's improving with the likes of the large box being accepted. Unfortunately, we never got the likes of the Skull Force Primitive skins with the recent rust door. Hopefully we'll potentially see it next week or the week after. We shall see. So yeah, that was a good look at the past few rust doors. So let's see what appears next week, and well, more specifically, I should also point out, well, let's see what appears on the workshop over the course of the next couple of days. My name is Hedge. I've been screaming about pixels for about 40 minutes now, and I hope you liked it. Thank you very much for watching. Best of luck to you on your investments, and we'll see what happens over the course of the next few days. Catch you later. See you. Goodbye.